What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and of course, we need to talk about the most current raid that has just dropped in danchro. So, let's go over here to the United Final Battle. This is a really, really important one if you guys have been doing the raids all along. And now, if you're new to the game, it's semi-important, but if you've been here for a really long time, it is extra super important. So, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about this, okay? Number one, well, a couple things you need to know. Let's go ahead and actually go to the news so we can start this off. I'll get to the important bit here in a minute, but here we go. Final Back Season 4 begins. Okay? That is starting today, and it actually ends here. Let's see the actual dates. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go to the event period. No, it's not going to go there. Well, we'll go back to the event for the event period. Whatever, since it's not cooperating. So it started like literally right now. As we upload this, it's just going live. It is running through the 22nd. So you have a lot of time to run this. There is a significant amount of time to make this happen. So we'll get to the rewards here in a minute, because the rewards are really the most important part. But going back over here, there's a couple things you need to know. Number one, you can get the camouflage lamp that's now for earth elements. That's pretty cool. By reaching 3,000 points, you can acquire a total of 3,000 Sealess. That's actually really awesome. Now, me personally, I usually wanted spending Sealess to kind of get some runs in. And we'll get to that, why that's a thing here. Well, right here. You could, once you reach 10,000 points, you'll be able to obtain a bond, or a version, if you don't have one already, of the Xeno Soldier Lyd. Now, this is our final bond. This is the most important thing that we were going to discuss here. So if we kind of go over here to our upgrade section, and we'll pull Lyd out. Now, this is a weird situation, because this is our final bond for him, but with the elements you get here in the raid, he's going to max level like level 80, which really isn't that big of a deal. Like, we just ran a solo battle with him at level 60 and Limit Break 4. I'm a little behind. I didn't grab these two items during one of the raids. I messed up and kind of didn't do that. So I hope that we get the rest of the items to kind of get them up to level 100 sometime soon. With any luck, and with the influx of new players after the Anniversary and a Half event, hopefully they'll keep rerunning this. And then your excess Lyd bonds you can then just exchange for, you know, whatever you need. Put in the ability system, whatever you got. But personally, I think Rainbow Keys would be a better option. But we'll if we get to that point, we'll talk about that. Maybe they'll drop another unit. Who the heck knows? But right now, if you stay current on this, and if you didn't mess up like I did, with the current raid, you'll be able to get him up to level 80. And with the current bonds, you'll be able to max limit break him. So, you know, those numbers are no joke, especially considering that this guy is pretty low level and still quite useful. Probably the most useful unit I've seen at, like, level 60. I'll be totally honest. Like, this dude is quite, I mean, substantial. He is honestly something else. Skill-wise, you get these skill orbs through MSS and a couple other things. I think it's mostly actually MSS. Mine's level 9 and level 8 across the board. We are getting a new MSS here in a little bit, but right now, you know, we're kind of where we're at. So it is what it is. He's almost like at the limit of what he's capable of here. But keep running your MSSs. Let's go over here to the exchange real quick. So in the raid currently, as you can see, you get the items here. I don't have enough raid points to... I have a few raid points. Those must be cumulative from the last couple of raids, which is interesting. Did not realize that'd be a thing. So here you go. You have some Mystical Fauna. You have 5 all-encompassing Fauna. But the big one here are these items right here. So make sure you guys jump in. Make sure you guys grab these. Once you get, it's a little more, I think it's like 10,400 to get all of these rewards or something to that effect. I could probably do the math, but lazy. But it is a little more than all the runs you need for Lyd. And in fact, I usually jump in to the tune of about 15,000 just so I get all my mystical faunas, all my Lyd faunas, the all-encompassing faunas, and a couple of these gifts of benevolence and things like that. So it's worth jumping in and getting those rewards. And speaking of getting to 10K, let's go ahead and jump into the raid. the raid. Thank you. There we are. So if we go here into rewards, I haven't actually run one yet, so we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get into it. But as you can see, there's a bunch of seals up here in the front. Once we go all the way down the list here, we're at 5K there. Let's go down here. We're at 8,500, 9,000. 10K is when you get the lead bond. Now, you can keep going. There's some frags up here, which you definitely could use. 5 Sealess every, like, I think 1,000 or so points. And obviously, the point system is based on the difficulty at which you run this. So if you run the regular difficulty right here, you're only going to get like 50 points. If you run the EX, which would be kind of your goal, you get 500 points. If you can't run the EX, then at least run the very hard. Most people watching this should be able to at least run the very hard. In fact, most people watching this can probably solo the very hard if you really got desperate. But I'll be honest with you, with however many runs that's going to take, you're probably better off just getting a good group, running the EX, and, you know, doing that. I would presume, like last time, if you wanted to do all this in one day, you probably could. You get 6 tickets up there. If you wanted to buy more tickets, you could definitely do it. It's 30 Sealess a shot. So at 500 points, quick maths. So if you wind up running the EX, it's actually only about 420 Sealess to go all in. So it's actually super worth. Like 100% you need to be doing that. So really get in there, get your points, win this sucker, and kind of move on with your whole thing there. So as far as this particular event goes, that's the big thing. I'd make sure you get that lead bond early and make sure you get all the items needed in order to max this guy out. So what is this going to require? Well, let's get back over here and time to take a look. So it is recommending the Earth item here, which is going to tell you right away, they're always made for whatever the newest unit is. But that being said, there are some people running it right now, even though it did just drop, that are running the Leafia unit, and she's apparently doing really, really, really good. So if you have her, I think she'd be quite viable. Some people are even running the Fire Ryu. Apparently, she's quite viable. We'll cover all this kind of in its own video when we get some more time to test this out. Test out a few teams and bring this on. But it is recommending the Earth elements. And so, like I said, yeah, the Leafia unit, you could probably roast this event with. Because as we did tested her earlier today, she's really robust and can do just an amazing job. So there you guys go. New raid, go jump in there. We'll do some runs on this during the stream coming up this week, and we'll also kind of cover this a little bit more once we know what units to use and what teams to use. But go in there, get your final lead bond, and I'll be back with more coming in real soon.